Good evening, everyone. I want you to imagine waking up one day and struggling to catch your breath after doing something as simple as walking up a flight of stairs. And now imagine finding out it's because of something you thought was harmless. Yep, vaping. Today, I'm going to be persuading you that vaping is not as safe as many people believe, even though it has become popular among teenagers like us and young adults. It can seriously damage your health. Nicotine addiction will be uncontrollable, and you're gonna end up wasting a lot of money in this addiction. And I'm going to be explaining to you today why vaping is a serious concern in this generation, and why you should stop it, and how much better your life will become when you do stop it. So what exactly is vaping? Vaping is use of electronic cigarettes, so like an e-device, also known as e-cigarettes or vape pens. Instead of burning tobacco, it burns harmful fluid, um, liquids, whatever you want to call it, that usually contains nicotine, flavorful add-ons, and other bunch of metal chemicals, God knows what else. Um, and that's what we inhale. So many people think vaping is harmless because it doesn't produce tobacco smoke not going in your lungs, but that's totally false. Companies like often market flavorful vapes and make them colorful, so it makes it seem more harmless, but it's more it makes it seem more fun, but it's as dangerous as smoking cigarettes. Um, just the truth is, just something doesn't produce smoke doesn't mean it's safe. um, the biggest problem with vaping is nicotine. According to its Center of Disease Control and Prevention, nicotine is highly addictive and can affect brain underdevelopment in teenagers and young adults. Once someone becomes addicted, it's very, very difficult for them to stop. And many people find themselves reaching for their vape every 2 minutes, every hour, without even realizing it. Um, Work, school, bathroom, anywhere they have a chance, they will try to reach, will have one in their possession. Vaping also, by the way, exposes your lungs to chemicals that they were never designed to breathe into. So your body is not friendly to the chemicals that you're inhaling. Over time, this can lead to breathing problems, coughing, chest pain, and even serious lung injuries. The health risk continues to grow, as researchers learn more about vaping. Um, According to FDA, the lung associated vaping can damage like lung tissues, increase inflammation, increase your coughing, give you a sore throat, harder for you to breathe. It can also actually raise your. I learned it today while doing my research. It can raise your blood pressure. Um, that's crazy. It can also increase your heart rate too. People believe only like they don't, some people believe they're only hurting themselves, but secondhand vape also the people if you hang out around, they vape, they can also expose that harmful chemical to you. Uh, Besides hurting your health, vaping also hurts your wallet. Um, Vaping that addiction get really expensive. If someone buys one vape every week, a vape is around $30 now. Every I believe $30, yeah. So do the math. You could easily spend over $1,000 a single year. Imagine what you could do with that money instead. You could save a lot of vacation, buy a phone, buy a new phone, buy yourself some nice clothes, shoes, instead of buying yourself something that's gonna harm you and take your life expectancy away. The good news is quitting is possible. The first step is setting a quiet date and getting rid of all like the vape devices in your reach. Next, as your family and friends for support, obviously be transparent with what you've been going through, what you've been dealing with. um, Go online, do your research. Some people use nicotine replacement products instead of nicotine. There's caffeine pouches that you could be using. Something that's gonna chewing gum is actually one of the big things. um, some people argue that vaping is much safer than smoking cigarettes. Like I mentioned before, that might be true. but it's doing damage one way, shape, or form. So, according to the National Institution of Drug Abuse, vaping still exposes users to nicotine and other harmful substances that can damage the lungs and lead to addiction. So, although vaping might be, different from smoking, it's definitely not harmless. Now, I want you to picture your life. If you quit vaping today, imagine waking up every day morning, breathing in air easier. Imagine no longer feeling dependent on a device. You know, Imagine having extra money in your bank account that you can spend on something nicer on yourself. Imagine picturing yourself a healthier lifestyle. Imagine, healthier long lifestyle, energy to enjoy the things you actually love. The future is possible if you make the right decision to quit. And I also today want you to challenge. If you vape, make a plan to quit. If you don't vape, don't bother starting. If someone you know struggles with this addiction, encourage them to stop and reach out for support. One small decision today can change your future tomorrow. Um, in conclusion, vaping may seem harmless, but it carries serious risk. It can damage your lungs, lead to nicotine addiction, and cost you thousands of dollars over time. The good news is quitting is possible, and every day without vaping improves your health. A vape may only last a few days, but your lungs need to last a lifetime. Thank you for listening.